So today I had the opportunity to come to Valdosta, Georgia to speak to 10 women who are in early recovery. They are in a treatment center from drugs and alcohol. It's a 12-month program. And so today I had the opportunity to speak with these women, share with them a class that I teach often on how we can go from being in a place of pity and return back to our original state of power. And doing the presentation was just so liberating for me, just to be able to just share information that has been helpful to me as well. So just, you know, instilling hope in others is just my passion. I love it, and today was just nothing short of miraculous to me. We may have been molested. We may have been abandoned by our parents, physically, emotionally. We may have been picked on as a child. We may have not been called on. You know, we might have been the last person chosen to play softball. I know I was, and nobody chose me first. That something traumatic happens, and it can be a myriad of things. But this is what I want you to understand about the trauma. The trauma, the event, whatever it was, the circumstance, the situation, is important. But here's what trauma does that get us in trouble. Oh God, I don't want y'all to miss this. This is so good. So what trauma does is it happens and it causes us to separate from this. Oh God, that's so good. It causes us to separate from who we really are. Because guess what we do? We start thinking that we're something other than what God told us. Y'all feeling that? Yes. That's what we do. So that's the trauma. So the event is devastating, but what's more devastating is that we begin to feel ourselves as something other than what God says.
My name's Andrea Nichols. I'm the program director here at South Georgia House of Hope, certified addiction counselor, Christian counselor. When I asked Kathy what she was doing when we set the date to come down, she said pity to power. And that class absolutely changed my life. Kathy puts it in such real terms, as the girls were saying today, in real words, that it makes sense. You can take who you are, see what happened to you, and I think every girl in that room today needed to hear it in those plain terms with the passion she has for being an empowered woman.
Today was so helpful because these aren't like sad tears. I think it's just like releasing tears. What led me to jail was my addiction, but also I had a friend overdose and she died in my arms, and I've carried a lot of guilt thinking that I didn't do CPR right, like that I was to blame for her not walking on this earth anymore. And through today's like pity to power, really power to pity, because that's how my life went, and now I'm back to power. I realized that that's just like something that Satan had me believing instead of me believing the truth of God's word and who I am to God. Like I just was believing that, you know, I was the cause for this, or that I was a worthless person, just a lowly addict, you know. I spent probably about 20 of my months in jail looking at a murder charge for it. It's just like a lot has happened in the last year, and I'm just like getting rid of all of it. And today, like, really just like clicked something in my brain, like stop believing that lie. Just live in your power to have a relationship with these women. You said that, have a relationship with them, and use what happened to me to live in that power and walk free from that guilt and shame. So it was very powerful. It was probably the best thing I've heard since I've been here, because it feels like a whole weight just got off my shoulder as soon as Miss Kathy shared, you know, what her daughter had said and what she had been through too. So
just listening to Justine, man, like it just really just gives me a lot of hope that people can get better. You know what I mean? That there's a chance to get rid of guilt and shame and to live a life full of freedom. Like just watching somebody experience that, you know, almost like them getting a second breath of air or a second wind, like that for me is so refreshing. Just to see that now this person, now they have a chance. I don't want to feel this thing that is hurting me at a soul level. If we are not operating in the space that God has given us, it's going to hurt us at a soul level. You have tried to control that with all these different methodologies. They don't work. And so now you're saying, I'm going to numb it. I don't want to feel it at all. I just don't want to feel it. And you'll do that, and you'll do that, and you'll do that, and watch your life go further and further and further into the pit. Because the last thing you want to do, if you're really interested in reconnecting to this, is numb. It is impossible for you to grow if you are numbing yourself.
Hey, my name is Morgan Fort. I am an SLT, which is a servant leader training at the South Georgia House of Hope. I graduated the program after 15 months, and now I just stay here and I help the girls. I'm more or less like a house mom, and I'm just here with them all the time to help them through their program. I really enjoyed Miss Kathy's class today with Pity to Power. She made it really easy to understand. I've already known what she was speaking about just with them being in the program, but she just broke it down a lot to where, you know, with power, I can live out who I need to be, and I can become the SLT that the girls need me to be, but also I can be who Jesus needs me to be. And now I fully understand why I even lived in that pity, because there was a trauma that happened to me and I agreed with it with Satan, and I didn't have to. He was tricking me into believing I was somebody I wasn't, and she explained to me that this journey that I've gone on, I needed to go through everything, the good and the bad, and to live out who Jesus needed me to be, and now I can help other people like me.
I'm Shannon, and I came to the House of Hope straight from jail, where my addiction has led me from, I've been locked up 19 times. And I came here for help. I've been here now for 15 months, and I have a graduation date of February 27th, so, which I plan to stay on here as SLT. I loved it, very liberating, and I am a visual learner, so the diagrams that she drew on the board and stuff really will stick. For me, my favorite part that hit home was when she's teaching about going from, you know, pity to power. In the middle of that, about the trauma, and I guess I thought once I got sober that I wouldn't have to deal with any more of things coming up, and that's not true. But when the trauma does come up, I know how to deal with it, and I know how to get my power back and where my power comes from.